Standard 12th subject physics, first chapter rotational dynamics. From this chapter let us see the expression for torque, that is when any body is rotating, what will be the expression for torque acting on that rotating body. For that purpose let us consider a rigid body rotating about an axis of rotation passing through point O with constant angular acceleration alpha. Let that body is made up of n number of particles having masses m1, m2, mn lying at the distances r1, r2, rn from the axis of rotation. Then the particles are performing circular motion about the axis of rotation and the body is performing rotational motion. Therefore, the forces are acting on the particles of mass m1, m2, mn, and these forces are f1, f2, fn respectively. And therefore, the linear acceleration will be possessed by these particles due to the action of these forces. So, the linear acceleration of all the particles will be now calculated, and therefore, the linear acceleration of particle of mass m1 will be a1 equal to r1 alpha. A1 equal to r1 alpha, as acceleration, linear acceleration a is equal to r alpha. Similarly, the acceleration of the second particle, that is a2, will be equal to r2 alpha dot dot dot. The acceleration of the last particle of mass mn, that is an, is equal to rn alpha. So these are the linear accelerations of all these particles, and therefore the forces acting on all these particles are, the forces acting on all these particles will be the force acting on the first particle of mass m1, it is equal to f1 equal to m1 a1 by the formula F equal to ma, that will be equal to m1 r1 alpha. A1 is replaced by r1 alpha. Similarly, the force acting on the second particle of mass m2 is F2 equal to m2 a2, that is equal to m2 r2 alpha. Similarly, the force acting on the nth particle, that is Fn equal to mn an, and that will be equal to mn rn alpha. So these are the forces acting on all these particles. Hence, the torque acting on all these particles will be given as, therefore the torque acting on all the particles are given as, the torque acting on the first particle of mass m1 will be equal to f1 r1, as torque is equal to force into distance, that is torque equal to F into R. Therefore, that torque acting on the first particle will be equal to m1 r1 alpha into r1. This quantity will represent force F1 and into r1. So that will be equal to m1 r1 square alpha. The force acting on the second particle is F2, and therefore the torque acting on that particle is equal to F2 R2, that is equal to M2 R2 alpha into R2, that is equal to M2 R2 square alpha. Now, the force Fn is acting on the last particle of mass Mn, and therefore the torque acting on that nth particle will be equal to Fn Rn, that is equal to Mn Rn alpha into Rn, that will be equal to Mn Rn square alpha. So these are the torque acting on all these particles. Now the torque acting on the whole body, the torque acting on that rotating rigid body will be equal to sum of the torques acting on all its particles, and therefore the total torque will be equal to torque acting on the first particle plus torque acting on the second particle plus torque acting on the nth particle, and therefore that total torque will be equal to, putting the values of all these torques, m1 r1 square alpha plus m2 r2 square alpha plus mn rn square alpha. From this relation, alpha will be taken common, and therefore torque equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus mn rn square, and therefore this bracketed term will be written as summation I is equal to 1 to n mi ri square into alpha. Therefore this term represents moment of inertia of that rotating body, and therefore torque is equal to I alpha, that is torque equal to moment of inertia into angular acceleration of that body. So this is the torque acting on that rotating body. Now let us see the conservation of angular momentum. The angular momentum of the body will be conserved, so that angular momentum of the body is given by the expression, that is vector L equal to vector R cross vector P, that is the angular momentum. Now differentiate this equation with respect to t, so that we will get dl by dt equal to d by dt of R cross P. So that will be written as vector R cross dp by dt plus vector P cross dv by dt. Now this differentiation will be carried out by using the rule of uv, that is d by dt of uv equal to u into dv by dt plus v into du by dt, and therefore from this relation dr by dt represents rate of change of displacement with respect to time, that is velocity, and according to Newton's second law of motion, rate of change of linear momentum gives the force acting on that body, and therefore dl by dt equal to R cross F plus P cross V. It will be written as dl by dt equal to R cross F plus, this is the linear momentum, that is P equal to mv, and therefore it will be written as m into v cross v. But we know that P is equal to mv, and therefore this P is replaced by m into v, and now this bracketed term represents the self cross product of a vector phi, which will be equal to 0. So phi cross phi is 0, and therefore dl by dt will be equal to R cross F, but this R cross F is nothing but it is the torque, and therefore torque will be equal to dl by dt. Now as torque is equal to dl by dt, if torque acting on that body equal to 0, then dl by dt will be equal to 0, or L will be equal to constant, because derivative of this L is equal to 0, and therefore L must be constant, that is derivative of constant is equal to 0, and therefore from this we can conclude that if the resultant external torque acting on that rotating body is equal to 0, then the angular momentum of that body remains constant or is conserved. Now let us see some of the examples of this law of conservation of angular momentum. The first example is ballet dancers. So during ballet, the dancers have to undertake the rounds of smaller and larger radii. When dancers come together to take a round of smaller radius, the moment of inertia of their system becomes minimum, and on the other hand, the frequency increases. during outer rounds, the dancers outstretch their legs and arms. Thus, this will increase their moment of inertia and will reduce angular and linear speeds. This is essential for preventing slipping of the dancers. Now, let us go for next example. That is second example, diving in swimming pool. So, during diving in the swimming pool, the divers stretch their body so as to increase moment of inertia. As soon as they dive, they fold their body, and this will reduce the moment of inertia, increasing frequency, so that they can complete more rounds in air. Now the third example is ice skating. Then fourth example is acrobat in circus. In all these above examples, we can say that in all these examples we have L equal to I omega equal to I into 2 pi n, omega equal to 2 pi n, and it will be equal to constant. And therefore from this equation we can say that I1 omega 1 equal to I2 omega 2, or I1 into 2 pi n1 equal to I2 into 2 pi n2. So this will be regarding the law of conservation of angular momentum.